So hello everybody, today we are going to see the guidelines for displaying contents, which is 8.10. So let's begin. The way the form or a report appears to the human eye has a lot of impact on the user, and by following specific guidelines for highlighting information, such as using color to display text and presenting numeric tables and lists, we can make the form or report more presentable. Highlighting information. Highlighting the information will enhance the appearance of the output. However, highlighting should be used sparingly to draw the user to or away from certain information and to group together related information. Highlighting of information can be carried out using different methods, such as using blinking and audible tones, color difference, intensity difference, font and size differences, underlining, etc. Highlighting methods should be selected and consistently used based upon the level of importance of the emphasized information. Highlighting will be very useful in situations such as the following: notifying users of errors in data entry or processing, drawing attention to high priority messages, and providing warnings to users in situations like unusual data values or an unavailable device. 8.10.2 Using color. Color influences the usability of the system. Use of appropriate colors while designing has several advantages, which are given below. Soothes or strikes the eye, emphasizes the logical organization of information, draws attention to warnings, evoke more emotional reactions, and use of colors in graphs and charts helps in better understanding. The following are some disadvantages of using colors. Resolution may degrade with different displays. Color fidelity may degrade on different displays, and printing or conversion to other media may not be possible easily. Displaying text. Nowadays, as a text-based applications such as email, bulletin boards, chatting, etc., are being widely used, textual output is becoming increasingly important. Some of the guidelines to be followed in order to display text are given below. We should use appropriate punctuation wherever required. The text should be properly spaced and there should be blank line between paragraphs. We should not hyphenate words between lines or use obscure abbreviations and acronyms while displaying textual information. Designing tables and lists. The content and meaning of tables and lists are significantly derived from the format of the information. There are a few simple guidelines that are to be followed while designing tables and lists. Use meaningful tables to all columns and rows, and separate labels from other information by using highlighting. The data displayed should be sorted in a meaningful order, like ascending or descending or alphabetic. Columns should be separated by at least two spaces between them. We should make use of single typeface except for emphasis. Numeric, textual, and alphanumeric data should be properly formatted. For example, numeric data should be right justified, and columns should be aligned using decimal points or other delimiter. Textual data should be left justified, and line length should be somewhere between 30 to 40 characters per line. If there are long sequences of alphanumeric data, then they should be broken into small groups of 3 to 4 characters each. Criteria for form design. Forms should be well conceived and attractive in design. We can achieve this goal if we design a form that satisfies the following criteria: organization, consistency, completedness, flexible entry, and economy. Organization. The different parts of a form must be arranged in a proper order with visual separation between the parts. Balancing of different information on the form should be done according to the sequence of entry, frequency of use, function, and significance of that particular data. The first data available, the most important data, and the data that is going to be used most frequently should always be placed in the beginning of the form. If there are groups of data of the like information, they should be placed together just as name plus address plus phone number. Grouping of information will help the user to understand which section of the form they are completing. Consistency. Form design should be internally consistent. They must also be consistent with related forms and with other forms in the organization. If the forms are consistent, then it will be easy for the users to learn how to fill them. Consistent forms reduce errors and data capture costs. Completedness. The form should gather all the necessary data at the source so that there is no need to transcribe data to other forms. This reduces the major source of errors. Flexible entry. It should be possible to enter data by hand or with a typewriter. In most cases, both kinds of entries occur. Economy. The total cost of design, printing, data entry, etc. must be minimized. Most of the times, it is required to increase one cost to reduce another. Usually, handling costs are much more than the cost of designing and printing. Having spent more resources on design and printing often reduces the cost of data capture and keying. Criteria for report design. Reports convey information from one or more computer files to the user. They perform this task satisfactorily only when they present information to the user accurately and in small portions. Several criteria that should be considered in order to produce good reports are given below. Relevance, accuracy, clarity, timelines, and costs. Relevance. Only the information that is relevant to the purpose of the report should be present in the report. This is a selection process, that is, all the relevant information should be included and all the irrelevant information or data should be excluded. Only required information should be printed or displayed. In online reports, we should use information hiding and provide methods to expand and contract levels of information details. Accuracy. The data that appears on the report should be accurately recorded, accurately transmitted, and accurately transformed into summary data. Accuracy is very important because if the data are inaccurate, then the main purpose of the report, which is to provide accurate information to the user, will not be accomplished. Incomplete data are also inaccurate. Clarity. The information that is present on the report should be clear and understandable. The information present should be balanced on the report. The display should not be too crowded and not too spread out. Sufficient margins and spacing throughout the output will enhance readability. Desired information must be easy to locate. Comparisons, ratios, percentages, exception flags, and graphs should be used where necessary. Timelines, reports must be prepared and ready for use in time. Most reports provide information which is used to make decisions. Hence, this information must reach the recipients while the information is pertinent to transactions or decisions. Information is of very little use if it arrives after the decisions are made. Cost. Every report has two costs. First is the cost of preparation, which consists of analysis, design, computation, and distribution. Second is the cost of reading the report and locating uh, germane parts of it. Often, the cost of reading the report is forgotten during the calculation of costs. The reading cost can be significantly reduced only if the appropriate information is presented clearly on the report. The total cost should always be less than the expected benefits. Only then the report should be prepared. So, next we come to the summary, and the answers of this check your progress will be soon available in description. Let's see the summary. As we have seen, the main aim of this unit is to help the reader in selecting appropriate formats for conveying information on forms and reports. Here we have seen that forms and reports are instruments of communication between people and computers. In this unit, we have seen that forms are used to collect or present information, and reports to convey information on a collection of items. Also, we have seen that information can take any of the three general forms. Internal information is the information which is used only within the organization. External information is the information which is used for distribution outside the organization. Turnaround documents are documents that are produced for outside parties but ultimately return in part or in whole as an input to internal system. There are many ways in which information can be collected and formatted. Also, specific guidelines should be followed, as these guidelines will help in creating professional usable systems. Here we have presented a variety of guidelines covering use of titles, layout of fields, highlighting data, use of colors, navigation between pages, formatting text, and numeric data. We have seen that before we start the designing of forms or reports, we should collect answers for questions like who, what, when, where, and how. Answers to these questions will help us to have a clear idea of what actually is required from the form or report to be designed. After getting answers to above questions, the initial prototype can be created. A well designed form should satisfy the criteria like organization, consistency, completeness, flexible entry, economy, and a well designed report should satisfy the criteria like relevance, accuracy, clarity, timeliness, cost, etc. So, thank you for listening, and till then, keep exploring.